Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Almost a Party. This is episode 40, and for the first time in a little while, we've got everybody here. Hooray!
Huzzah!
Woo!
Episode 40.
All right. So, where we last left off our players, they had attended the funeral for Agile, one of their friends, and one of the Golden Shields, and husband to the Grand Counselor Marble Tome. After commiserating and celebrating the life of Agile, they went and got some drinks, and Ore pulled a fast one on Mazeki, who wanted to take some extra time, and got him to give the teleportation rock, and they broke it and appeared in the floating belt. Our players, having reconnected with Aegon, on found out the situation was fairly dire. After conjuring a bunch of water for them, they decided to rest and set out in the morning. Given what little information they know of where to go, they are heading towards the Dragging Teeth mountain range far off in the west. So, players, you are currently in the mountain with Aegon right now. Is there anything particular that you would like to do while you are here before you set out?
We should probably discuss an approach. Ore's
Yeah.
going to kind of look to the group as we're all waking up and getting ready for the morning and say, should we head directly to the mountain range, or should we try and be a little more proactive and maybe go after the Scorpion Riders initially, see if we can prevent any further raids until we return?
I mean, they're both important. Do you remember which one Aegon wanted us to tackle first, or if he expressed a priority?
Isn't Aegon with us right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we can
you're
just
all
ask him.
staying in his home.
Let's just ask him. Never mind. I thought he was like somewhere else.
Yeah. So if you recall, he hired a bodyguard that is helping out the Dragonborn Odrith, who's with you as well. And he's handling the protection of the mountain. They've sealed off to where there's only the one entrance from the ground level, and so he's doing everything he can to protect the mountain. The main goal is to get the mountain moving again, because while it's stationary, it's vulnerable.
Zurich's gonna feel really at home here since he's used to living in mountains.
It,
So
yeah, it's quite a bit different than the mountains that you're from. These are all much more narrow tunnels and carved, and not like the dwarven architecture of
like
the
claustrophobic
Undermountain.
mountains.
Yeah, a lot more claustrophobic. So,
Okay, maybe not as big of a fan then.
yeah.
Um, so firstly, yeah, he'll after this discussion with Sadzi, he'll go seek out Aegon, because they're tight like that. They're bros, and then he's gonna ask him if which of the two he would prefer for us to pursue first, and it sounds like we need to go into the mountain, just like some confirmation on that. And maybe he's not really as familiar with Three King customs and stuff like that. If we, like if we need to kill things, are they going to be sad? Like, are there sacred sites we need to look out for? All that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so you ask, and he responds. It is important that you find a solution to get us moving again. I've given you everything I know, which I know isn't much, about how and where to begin. We will do our best to protect ourselves from raiders. As far as sacred sites and things, given that we're typically very, very mobile and going through the desert constantly, we don't have very many sites that you will come across. Just be aware of the scorpion riders as you are out and about. They will see your group walking through the desert and see you as easy prey.
Are we safe to assume the Scorpion Riders are hostile on sight? He will pat his gun on his back because I can scare them off.
Generally, I would assume so. They are to me. Maybe they'll
Is
take more
Understand.
there
kindly to you.
is there an approximate number of raiders that you have encountered before? Do you know their numbers at all?
We do not know their numbers, but we have slain several, and they keep on coming.
With
Do
each
they
raiding
Raiding
with each
parties
raiding
are
party,
usually 10 to 15 at a time.
understood.
Scouting parties are typically a lot less.
Well, that answers the question that I had. So we should expect them to be in a group probably 2 to 3 times our size.
If they are coming as a raid, yes. If they are just scouting out and about, you may be twice their size.
And you said they typically appear to be coming from the north of this location, but we are due to head straight west for the mountain range, the Shattered Teeth.
Correct.
I have another question about when the mountain moves, does it follow a preset path or does it travel seem random?
It doesn't seem random per se, but it is definitely not going on a circuit. We have never quite landed in the same place twice as we have moved, but the desert isn't all that large, and so eventually we do cross the same path. But it's not like, oh, hey, turn north, turn east, turn west. All of a sudden, it's goes, and then eventually it takes a turn, and it goes for a while, and then you'll see some out there, I'm sure, as you're
And
traveling.
while it's mobile, how fast is the mountain?
Ours moves fairly quickly compared to some of the others. Um, Slightly faster than most people's running speed.
Interesting. Thank you. You don't, by chance, have any maps of the surrounding territory? As we've discussed yesterday, there wasn't any preset land, landscape or significant icono- iconography that we would need to be aware of for the immediate area.
No, it's open desert with the floating mountains wandering through them until you reach the coast where our mountains split from the larger mountain range. Once there, that's all I know.
Understood. Thank you.
For those of us unfamiliar with overland deserts, do you have any pathfinding tips or anything?
Uh, Pay attention to the skies, travel in between high noon and sunrise, typically the best. Seek cover when the sun is the highest and the hottest, and seek cover when the sun is the darkest and its coldest. The natural weather is your worst enemy out there.
Are sandstorms pretty common?
Uh, Probably more common than any other desert in the world, as the mountains do tend to kick up quite a bit of sand as they move. So if you see a sandstorm, be aware it could just be a mountain moving. Most you will see peeking out largely above the storm.
No, this is terrifying. They move faster than a normal person walks, and they create giant sandstorms.
They used to move faster than somebody walks.
This one did.
Well, this one doesn't, but the others still do.
And he did specify that his moves faster than most of the others. So,
Do all of the mountains that travel have inhabitants?
as far as I am aware, yes.
Are they considerably friendly, or are they also subject to aggression, much like the other raiders?
For the most part, the other civilizations living in the mountains are friendly as long as you are not trying to siege and attack them, which
Un-
can be difficult to do while they're still moving. So,
I see.
All right, so the
Um,
plan
last,
is not worry about the scorpion dudes.
It does sound like they're a lesser priority right now.
yeah, if they come for us, then we can just give them some warning shots or something.
Yeah, and I mean, they have dealt with them here before. Maybe not super great, but they at least know what they're looking for. Um, one more question. Do we have like any divines or religion here that might be involved in the mountains moving or not moving that we know of?
are you asking that to me as the DM, or are you asking that to Aegon as a question?
More to Aegon if there's like do they worship any particular divine? Do they have any particular divine like mythologically who moves the mountain or anything? Or is
Um,
this just part of the folly?
so they don't know what makes the mountains move, and they do not believe that it is a divine. That was one of the things that they express is they just don't know anything about how this mountain moves. Um, as far as divines that they worship, there are a few that they do, but there aren't any like temple or worship services here. It's just kind of done on an individual basis.
What season is it here?
Um, let's see. Yeah, summer is starting to wind down because it's been 2 months since the King's End Festival, which happens right in the middle of summer. So,
Okay, so we're going into fall.
yep.
Um, so I guess I'd lean to Aegon. Do you have frequent rainstorms as part of the current season,
We don't
or
get a
would it
lot
just
of
be
rain here at all.
understood? And in your interactions with the Scorpion Riders, what seems to be the most effective tactic to taking them down?
Get them off their mounts and kill their mounts as fast as possible. Their mounts are almost as deadly as they are.
And are they subject to uh, certain vulnerabilities? Does cold do more damage to them versus like fire damage? Is there something they're a little more prone to fall to?
I mean, no one really likes being set on fire. No one really likes being frozen. Some of them do tend to wear armor that has scraps of animals and wood and things in there. So, I mean, wood and bone don't love fire.
Understood. All right, since it's still first thing in the morning, I'm going through my spells and looking for fire damage.
Okay.
Is there anywhere nearby we can get provisions if needed before we set out?
No, you guys had to provide them with water and food. Like they are stuck. That's one of the things about the civilization over here is they rely on the mountains being so mobile for them to get resources and things that they need.
Well, it's a good thing we have a lot of magic.
I feel like it would have been a good idea for them for us to bring supplies with us when we teleported here.
Yeah.
That seems like they missed out.
So they had no idea how quickly you were going to come.
Mhm.
The
They
longer
probably still
you
could have
waited,
asked us.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
like,
longer you
hey,
waited,
please
the
bring something.
more that they needed it.
How
But
many people are in the community here?
hundreds.
Okay.
So there are
All
quite a
right.
bit.
Well, the
So enough for
fastest way to
15
help.
people is not going to make a huge difference for the day.
No.
Yeah. We just gotta solve the quest and save their civilization.
Yep.
Zerdig's ready to head out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Aegon will lead you down through the rest of the mountain until you reach the base level to where the only entrance is there. As you step out of the mountain into the sandy desert, the sun is very blinding for all of you, having adjusted a bit to the darkness of the mountain. And your eyes take a moment to adjust, and you can feel the heat radiating. It was so much cooler in the mountain than it is as you've already stepped out here.
Well, that quest was fun. Let's go home. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll ritual cast Water Walk in case we encounter any quicksand.
Okay. So you take the time to cast that so that you can quickly cross quicksand should you encounter it.
Is that good for 8 hours or 24?
1, but I can
1.
keep ritual casting it.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Okay.
when you were in Typhon's Folly.
Right. In the swamps. Yeah.
Yeah. Which made that go much faster than I was anticipating. So, all right. So, you need to head west, but you need to figure out which way is west first.
Well, what is it's early morning, so what is sunrise in this world? Is it to the west or to the east?
So, yeah, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
I guess
Okay.
we're assuming it's early morning because this is our first time seeing the sun since we've been here.
No, we saw the sun yesterday because
Oh,
we
we did.
arrived late
Okay.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll take a general heading from the sunrise, from where the sun's rising in the morning, and kind of set my astrolabe against it and start taking a general heading against other geography around us and start making note of which directions are which.
Okay. All right. Fairly easy for you to do. You're very well trained in that. So you're able to identify the direction, and you recognize that you're probably going to need to decide to go a little south or a little north as well as you travel along. Because as was described, the mountains split off from the center, and so there is a mountain range to the south and to the north when you reach the coast. Um,
Uh,
it, go ahead.
Relative to the map of Valade for Manway, where are we, like dead center of the floating isles, or are we a little more south or a little more north?
You are a little more south. You
Okay.
are about, if you look at the B in belt, if you're looking in the map, you're a little further south than that.
Got it. Okay, so we are to the south end of the desert already. So might be best if we kind of hang a little south to try and find the southern section of the mountain range.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
And
will
Okay.
also help with the raiders because they said they were coming from the northern side, so it'd get us more out of their way.
right.
True.
And
Though Ore would like to go a little north because he wants to try and thin them out so they're not as dense in their raiding parties against our friends.
right. And Aegon did recommend that the north side was probably the better side to check, as
Gotcha.
well.
Okay, so we should head a little
Why
do
not?
the
Let's go
like a,
north. Let's do it.
do a northwest heading. Got it.
Okay.
Good.
So,
I bet we can get some great sunsets over the desert here.
yeah. All right. So, given that it's still fairly early morning and the sun hasn't gotten too high into the sky yet, it's hot but not unbearable yet. As you guys begin traveling throughout the sands, you're able to make fairly good time as uh, Mizeki's not really sinking in the sand as much as I would have expected, given that Alondiel is doing water walk. And so able to stay on top as the sands shift beneath his hoofs and continue on through. As you begin making your way, the sun gets higher in the sky and the temperature begins to increase, and it's definitely getting hotter. As the sun reaches its highest point, you know it's only going to get hotter from here. Looking around, you're not seeing any place that you could potentially take cover to shield yourselves from the sun and from the heat that is going to be coming as the sun continues on and starts to set.
Let's put up those tents.
I was going to make the same comment, like set up some tents or canopies to kind of get a little, or tarps, just to kind of give us some shade for the height of the day.
Okay.
Yep, let's get some shade and then it's nap time.
All right. So you take the time setting up your tents, getting them secured as best as you can in the sands, and waiting out the heat. You're
You
able
don't
to
happen
go ahead.
to have that spell or I've heard of some druids who can like move the ground around.
I believe I have some capabilities. I didn't
Mold
prepare them
earth,
for
I think is might have
today.
been what they called it.
Yes, unfortunately, I don't have. Oh gosh, Druidcraft wouldn't do anything along those lines, would it? I did not prepare
No,
any earth moving.
it's like cantrip.
Well, I know there's like meld with stone is another one. I don't think that really applies
Yeah, there's
in
like a mold.
desert.
There's mold earth. You can like we
Mold
could
earth.
make a
That's right.
wall of a 5-foot wall to give us a little bit of shade.
I
Too.
did not do that, but I could do thaumaturgy and like blast some of the sand into the sky. We could sand castle this if we needed to, and just kind of dampen some. Oh, you know what? I'm a druid. I can turn into like a giant badger or something and dig us a hole. We really need to get out of the sun a little bit.
Is the sun and its light considered fire?
Uh,
Perhaps?
no.
No,
I
it's
mean,
Dang
strictly
it!
considered radiant.
It's radiant. It's radiant damage that's coming down on us.
it's all inclusive damage.
Okay, well that was worth a try.
Yeah. Like, it's
The
not
sun is
damaging you
casting melanoma.
directly, it's the heat exhaustion that you have to worry about. So, all right. But you're able to set up your tents and set up a fire, enjoy a meal. As the sun begins to set and it begins to cool, do you want to just camp or continue to make movements before it gets too cold?
We're going to
I
become
would suggest.
quasi-nocturnal.
I'd say it's probably best to travel when the sun's low in the sky before it gets cold. So, doing like a half day's travel before it gets hot and half day's travel before it gets
Yeah,
cold,
that's
and then
twilight.
break up our rest. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you continue on cleaning up your camp, making your way again with that northwest bearing towards the coast, hoping to find the mountain range. As you're making your way through, you see on one of the larger dunes, just barely reflecting in the sunlight, what seems to be a glint of some metal. And as it comes over, you see that it is a helmet of a creature riding atop a scorpion, a large giant scorpion. Slowly,
Stomach are
two
blasting.
more giant scorpions with riders atop them come over the hill. The one wearing the helmet and in the armor with wooden bone looks out, seeing you approaching. The desert is our lands. If you wish to cross through them, you must pay.
How many of them are there?
There are 3 that you see.
What's the fee?
He looks you up and down. For your group, it'll be 100 gold.
Every time we see you?
Like, do we get a waiver that the next time the shakedown comes, we could say we've already paid? We get a receipt.
Our
Does
group will
that
not bother you again.
So, as part of us paying you, you prevent other groups from shaking us down?
Our group will not bother you again.
but will you provide additional protection or escort to the edges of your property, your land?
I would like to use.
Sorry, what was that, Miseki?
I would like to use Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
This guy's clearly a sand raider, and he can get bent.
All right.
How-
Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And if you all want to go ahead and go into Fantasy Grounds and open up the desert map.
How far away from us are they at this point?
They are at the top of a dune beginning to head down that you guys are there. You're about 50 feet away from them at this point.
About 50? Okay.
Yep.
We let them get so close. I plan on shooting like 400 feet ago.
To be fair,
this-
they probably are like standing.
This is where you first see them as they're cresting over
Yeah,
the
because they
hill.
crest the dunes.
Yeah.
Unlucky for us.
Yep. All right.
There we go. I was like, it's not working. I got it to work.
Let me get initiative rolled for these guys. Oh, that's not great.
How close are these scorpion riders together?
So they are about 20 feet from each other. Uh, they're fairly close together. You could catch them all in a single spell easily enough.
Okay, thank you.
Old strategy is shake down somebody in fireball range.
Not many adventurers come through here, so it's usually people that are in the mountains moving from one to the other. Very easy to shake down in those circumstances. So, all right. Okay.
I feel like we need to introduce siege weapons.
Alondiel, what did you get for initiative?
13.
13. Mizeki, what did you get?
22?
22. Ore.
22.
Okay. Sadzi.
19.
Okay. Zerdig.
21.
All right. You guys are just ready to kill them for sure. Alondiel being the lowest at a 13. The rest of you all just about 20. Okay. Mizeki and Ore, you guys are up. Not a surprise round here because everybody is aware of everybody, but you do get to strike first.
I think Mizeki goes first by launching his Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Yes.
And let me go ahead and flip over to the map. All right. So you're Eldritch blasting. Who are you trying to hit? The one in the armor, or the scorpion he's riding, or one of the other?
Probably the leader.
Okay.
Do the scorpions look hardy, or? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Scorpions are dangerous.
They're giant scorpions that are easily rideable. So.
Yeah, let me shoot the scorpion.
Okay. The one that the leader is riding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is 2 beams. So first one, I got a 15.
15 hits.
Okay. It does 1 plus 3 is 4 damage.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 7 damage of my
7 damage. Oh,
bonus. 3 of it is thunder.
Okay.
And then the second one is critical. And of course, I rolled a 3 and a 1. So that's the life I'm living. So that one does a whopping 7 damage as well.
Okay.
Hooray.
And the scorpion.
Out of 30, I did.
Scorpion looks angry.
Yeah, I imagine so. I'm going to move back from everyone a little bit, give us some spacing, so that if they cast their own version of Firefall, it doesn't kill all of us. And that'll be done for now.
Okay.
Unless I can hide.
There's not really any place that you can hide until you
Yeah.
crest over a dune and get far enough away.
How far is the nearest dune from us?
It's behind them.
Like
the one
behind
that they
us,
just
or
came over. No, behind them. So you'd have to
Okay.
run right at them.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just back up a little bit to give us some spacing, maybe 25 feet.
Okay. And then Ore, while he's moving, if you want to go ahead and take your
Sure.
turn.
I'm trying to figure out how far away they are from us. You said they're about 50 feet to the first guy?
Yeah, to the lead guy.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna, as Mazeki just goes guns akimbo on these guys, I kind of nod my head down and shake it for a moment and then get back into the game. I'm gonna dart out here to the south. Get myself away from the group, but a little bit closer, and then I'm gonna target. Wither and Bloom has a 10-foot radius, so if I target the center of all three of them, I get everybody in that group, right?
Yeah.
Cool. They have to make a con save and beat a 17 for everybody in that group.
Con saves. Okay. The
And I'm
first
rolling the
one
damage
gets
now.
an 18. The second one gets a 13, so that's one fail. And I'm rolling from back to front here because they're different creatures. So, and then the leader gets a 13. So the leader and one of the riders in back fail. And then the scorpions, one scorpion succeeds with a nat 20. The others got 5s. So.
Okay, so all the ones that fail take 7, and this is necrotic damage.
Okay.
And
For those that
so
succeed,
it's
do they take half?
that's what I'm just reading through it. I believe they do. I just want to get confirmation before I say yay or nay. Half on a successful, so they do take half. So they'll take 4 or
3.
3 on 3. Yeah, so they'll take 3 that when the succeeded.
Okay.
And since we're here, I'm gonna wild shape my starry archer and take a shot at the first guy in armor as well.
Okay.
Sorry, rolling now. That is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 13 points of radiant damage to him.
13 points of radiant damage. Okay.
And that should be everything for me.
All right. Zerdig / Z2.
All right. Well, let's have Z2 run up, which will be after Zerdig. I think we're switched on the map. Z2 will probably be in front.
Okay.
And then we'll have him run up and tank some hits. After Zerdig, what is Zerdig gonna do? I think Zerdig will cast. It's still early in our day, right?
Wait, you said Zerdig would be in front, but that was backwards on the map. I had Zerdig in
Yeah.
front
Sorry,
initially.
Z2 would be in front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Z2
I
would be in
didn't
front. That's
survive. I just poking with a wrench goes in front.
Okay. All right. So what are you doing, Zerdig?
I think we're gonna cast Fairy Fire. So let's do that. They all need to make a save.
Okay. Deck save.
Yeah, but let me find it first. Here we go. Yeah, their DC is 12. Oh, that's because this is my innate. Let me see. I think I have this as well from. Yeah, I do. From my actual class. So let's use our class one. Deck 16 save.
Okay. So the first scorpion succeeds with a 17. The back two scorpions fail. And then the two riders in back, one gets a 16, the other gets a crit fail. And then the leader gets a 10. So
Awesome.
one of the riders in back and the scorpion in front succeed. Everybody else lights up like a. What color are they lighting up?
Purple pumpkins.
Purple. Pumpkin color. Okay.
Zerdig will take out his very large gun. They probably don't recognize it immediately because they're not super common in this world. But then he'll very menacingly say, "This is but a sample of our power," and that's his turn. And then Z2 runs up.
Okay.
I
Knocked
actually
out.
think we'll have Z2 stay with us because he needs to be nearest to mitigate. So Z2 would just chill there and protect us.
Does Fairy Fire grant advantage on attacks as well, or
Yes.
just keeps him from going? Got it. Cool.
Yep, that's why I did it. So we can light him up, literally and figuratively.
Okay. All right. The scorpion riders in back are up. And let's see here. What is my speed on these scorpions? It is that. Okay, so. They will rush up here with their riders atop. And you will see each of these riders reach onto their back and pull out these clay pots. And they're going to chuck them, one at Alondiel and one at Sodzi. So, first off, Alondiel. That is a 17. Does that hit you?
That misses.
Okay, so it's going
I
to
duck.
crash Ash right behind you, and a swarm of tiny scorpions is now behind you. Sadzi, does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
You will take 1 point of damage as it breaks on top of you. And
Okay,
there's
I was
now
gonna
a
ask to
swarm of
cast shield,
scorpions
but
in your
that's
space. Oh yeah, you can cast shield if you
will
want.
that bounce the scorpions away from me directly, like from them crawling into my robe and shit, or?
No, it would stop you from taking the 1 point of damage, but
Oh well,
it would still shatter on your shield, and so they'd still end up in your space.
but I would have a +5
It
bonus to AC.
Yeah, it would
Mhm.
potentially stop them from poking you this
Yes.
turn, but that's it.
It would potentially stop them from hurting you further.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with cast shield.
Is that what I want? Okay. So you don't take the damage there, and then let's grab these swarms. All right, so this one sharing Sadzi's space, and this one right behind Alondiel. These swarms are going to attempt to attack as well. So Alondiel, it's a 19 for the swarm as they start crawling all over you to
Ooh.
attempt to sting you.
That'll hit.
Okay. You will take Ooh, I'm rolling high damage. 8 piercing damage, and I need you to make a con save.
Nat 20 for 22.
Okay. And then you will take 1 poison damage. And then Sadzi, an 18 with your shield, I believe that misses.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
miss.
So they are crawling all over you, but they can't seem to manage to sting. So,
Gross.
um, that is those riders' turn, which brings us to Sadzi. Your turn.
I think we all know what I'm about to say.
Fireball?
I cast Fireball.
Oh, did my swarms just disappear? What the heck?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, because I closed the encounter.
Yay! We did it.
Yay, we win!
Well, that was easy.
No, I think they're just burrowing.
Yeah, they're
That
burrowing
would
in
be
the
terrifying.
sands. There we go. Get them back on the map so you know where they are. Okay. I was like, why did they just disappear? All right. So you are doing Fireball, huh?
Right. It's got a dex save of 16 on that.
Dex save of 16. Well, let's start with the giant scorpions. That's 1 fail. That is 1 success. And then the one in back, that is a fail. All right. And then let's do the riders atop, the scorpions. So the 2 in front both fail, and the 1 in back also fails. So, how much damage is everybody but the 1 scorpion taking?
31.
Okay. Ouch.
I don't like icky, nasty, stingy, crawly things.
And then, so half of that would be 15 for the 1 scorpion that did succeed. Okay.
I guess.
All right. The scorpion that the leader is riding is not looking very good at all after that. The other 2 are looking significantly better in comparison.
I will move like back and I guess south. Kind of like southeast. In hopes that the swarm of scorpions will not go to anyone else.
Okay. Right through the scorpion space. The swarm is going to go ahead and try and sting at you as you're moving. That is a 22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right. So you will take 9 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a con save.
I got a 6.
And you'll take 8 points of poison damage.
Okay, 9 piercing, 8 poison.
Yep.
Oof.
And then it is Alondiel's turn. Unless Sadzi has anything else you'd like to do.
Not beyond like trying to shake out my robe and maybe flipping off the scorpion riders.
Okay. Alondiel.
Okay, I'll move a bit to help close the gap to keep them
Okay.
away. That should put me within 15. Perfect. That's what I wanted.
Your swarm gets a
And
21 to attack you as you're running away.
man, yep, that'll hit.
You'll take 10 piercing damage, and I need to make a con save.
20.
You'll take 1 poison damage. I rolled really well against you for that poison damage, Sadzi.
And I am gonna pop Spirit Guardians.
Okay. Spirit Guardians it is. That's going to get the front riders and both swarms?
Yep.
Okay.
So on the starts when they move into it or the start of their turn, they have to make a wisdom save. And while in it, regardless of the save, their movement is halved.
Okay. All right. It is now the leader's turn on his scorpion, and he is going to call out in a language that you do not understand, and he is going to turn tail and run with his scorpion. You
That's going
did
poorly for him.
quite a number on him with that fireball that he is not too pleased about. And then that will take us back to the top of the round to Mizeki and Ore.
And the guy running away is the leader dude, yeah?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna shoot him this time.
Okay. Or do you want to shoot his scorpion? That is not looking very good.
Yeah,
Now the
sure, why
leopard
not?
I'm running away.
Shoot them out. Shoot them out.
Try once more to shoot the scorpion.
Okay.
Blast. On. First one is a 16.
That hits.
Okay, and it does 9 damage.
Okay. You watch as the scorpion collapses and the guy goes tumbling off of the scorpion.
Okay.
And
Nice
he begins
effect. Nice
rolling
effect.
back down the dune that he's going. And he's just like,
Yeah, and then a team hits the scorpion too and does 4. Not that it matters, but
I mean, I was hoping for the scorpion throws itself on its back and its legs start twitching violently, its tail thrashing. But I could be done with a little pool of blood.
and can I move normally in the sand?
yeah, like Alondiel's been doing the water walk stuff for you, so the negative penalties I was planning on applying on you for moving through the sand, because it's a bit more difficult with your hoofs than everybody else, not affecting you at all.
I'm gonna get right up in this dude's grill.
Okay, all the way up there, huh?
Yeah. And that's my turn.
All right, Ore.
I am going to also take a shot at the guy with my special use guiding bolt.
Did he save, or is he one of the sparkly ones?
Oh right. No one's attacked them except for I guess just Miseki. No, he's lit up like your purple.
He is lit up.
Yeah,
So we have
I rolled a
advantage, yeah.
17. Should I roll? I should give that advantage roll, right?
yeah. You can see if you crit.
Not quite, though. That's a little bit better. So 19 to hit.
Yeah, 19 hits.
And that's a pretty good roll. 15 radiant damage, and he is lit up again. I don't think that adds anything more to him.
Nope.
He's double disadvantage.
How's he looking still?
Oh, actually, well, I mean, it didn't matter because you hit anyway. But you actually didn't have advantage because even though he's lit up, he is currently prone from being fallen off his mount. So,
Gotcha.
but your
Okay. So the
17 still
first
hit
roll,
anyway.
17 would have still hit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to target the scorpion in front of me with my Starry Archer Blast.
Okay. The lower one, I'm guessing.
What? Yeah, the one that's kitty
Closer
corner
to
to
you.
me,
Yeah.
the closer to me. Any day, D&D Beyond. There it goes. Oh, 14. Is this guy lit up?
No, this was the scorpion that saved. The one scorpion
That's a
that saved.
14. Does 14 hit?
Nope, it bounces right off of its carapace.
Okay, cool. That is it for my attacks. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more of a distance from the group.
Woo woo.
Go out to about here, and that is me.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Zerdig slash Z2.
Well, it's time to shoot some stuff. So, that leader guy who's lit up, it's that even though, right?
Yeah,
You
because he's
said he's
prone.
still prone. Well, I don't want to shoot him actually because Zerdig is way more accurate on things that he's actually getting advantage on. So, which of the riders B or C can he actually shoot at? Or sorry, is actually advantaged.
Both of the riders failed.
Nice.
There
They're
was.
being
That's
lit
Oh
up.
no. Yeah. There was the one scorpion in that succeeded. So.
All right, let me fiddle with the dice here real quick.
They're all nearly dead after that fireball, though, so.
Do you have a scorpion problem? Fireball can help.
Which I just realized
Mhm.
apparently forgot to add the damage to one of them. Because there was the one that I apparently didn't add damage to.
All
Looks
right,
like.
that's a 20.
20 hits. Which one are you targeting, the top or the bottom?
Let's go with the top,
Okay.
and that's gonna be 16 damage
16 damage. Okay.
for shot number 1. Is he still up?
He is indeed still up, but he didn't look too happy about taking that.
Well, not for long. Shot number 2. All right, that's a nat 20. So a lot. Let me roll 4d12.
Ooh.
Okay.
27. I actually didn't roll too great. 27 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's way more than enough. He just falls
So,
back dead off of his scorpion. Oh,
so
apparently I deleted the wrong one. Oh well.
the rest of the party just
Easy enough
sees
to do.
Zerdik spot up and take like a classic shooter stance on one knee and just like bam, bam, and this dude just gets obliterated. And then he stands up, gets in a ready defensive stance, so he's not prone. And that's his turn.
Okay.
Z2 will go attack, I guess. That's a bonus action, I believe. Yeah, let's do it. Z2 will go up and he'll try and grapple the second guy off of his scorpion, is what we're
Okay.
going to try and do here. Unfortunately, that means I have to look some stuff up because I don't remember Z2's athletics check, but I'll just roll the dice and we'll see how it goes. He rolled a 19, so it's an opposed check, so that guy's gonna have to check. And then he has a mod as well. I think his mod's like 2 or 3. But
Yeah,
I'll go look
it's not gonna matter because I got a nat 1, so.
So after his buddy gets blown up, this little robot just scampers up, probably has to climb on the scorpion and just like yeets this guy onto the ground away from his scorpion. And that's his turn. So there you go.
Okay, Alandiel, what's my save?
Your save is 17.
17.
Wisdom.
Okay, let's do the giant scorpions first. That's a nat 20 on one and a fail on the other. So how much damage do they take?
They take 3d8. Oh, which is not that great. That is 8 for the one that failed and 4 for the one that succeeded.
Okay, 8 for the one that failed, and 4 for the one that succeeded. All right, the rider gets a wisdom, right?
Yep.
He gets a 16, so he will fail and take 8 damage. Yep. These guys aren't very wise. As you can tell, because they, attacked you guys out of the blue. Actually, no, you attacked them. They just threatened you. Swarm number 1 gets not enough, and swarm number 2 gets a 17.
That's the DC.
No, they have negative modifier. They get a 15. So they both fail and take 8 damage. Okay. All right.
Their
Yeah.
speed is halved.
Well, the riders are not on their scorpions. The scorpions are just going to run, and since they don't have riders controlling them, okay, this one's going to go this way. This one who has been tackled and grappled by Z2, we'll just put him there. This one is going to go this way, right towards you guys. So Alondiel and Z2 and Zerdig can all take attacks of opportunity as it just goes barreling by you.
Is
I
it
don't
is
have
it
a
clearly
weapon.
fleeing?
Grab him!
It is,
Grab him!
yeah, it doesn't have a rider anymore, and it's clearly fleeing. It's hurt.
Okay. You can't make a grapple attack as a reaction, unfortunately, unless you have a feat. So we're just gonna let him go and deal with these guys.
Okay. None of you want to attack or swing a sword or a fist? Okay.
I keep a hand free so I can spell cast.
All right.
Alondio just punches it in the chin.
That would hurt me more than it
Don't-
would hurt it.
Don't you have Warcaster? Can't you just like inflict
I do
wounds as it
not.
runs fast? Oh, okay.
I do.
Swarms are going to swarm. So first swarm against Zerdig is a 7. Second swarm against Alondiel is a 14.
Miss.
Okay. The guy being grappled by Z2 is going to attempt to break free. I rolled a natural 2 this time, so that's way better than last time, but I don't think that's going to be enough to break out. That's a total of 5.
Well, Zerdig rolled a 7, but that's gonna be a total of I think 9. So yeah, still
Okay.
not quite.
Still grappled, and that's going to be Sadzi's turn then.
Okay, and we've got 2 riders still up.
One is grappled, one is prone, and 2 of the scorpions are running away, and then there are swarms swarming all over your friends,
Hmm.
who are also being
Decisions,
attacked by
decisions.
tiny little spiritual whatever Alondiel summoned.
Let's see, I've got aid.
You could just shoot the dude. Just shoot a dude.
Yeah. Okay, can I shoot the follower who Z2 is grappling and not hit Z2 with a firebolt?
With a firebolt? Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
Cool. Let's do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll. While they're grappled, do they give advantage?
No. Well, if we rule this guy got dragged off and throw him prone while whatever, then he actually would grant disadvantage.
Well,
But
wait,
no,
aren't they lit up?
grappling normal doesn't help out.
Yeah, he's also lit up.
Yeah,
so
base trap
even-
and just speed.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
the grapple condition itself doesn't give advantage or disadvantage.
So do I have advantage, disadvantage, or nothing?
You have advantage. Lit up.
Cool.
I keep forgetting about Fairy Fire. That seems so long ago already.
Yeah, okay, that second roll is better. 24 to hit.
Yeah, 24 hits.
And a whopping 6 damage.
Okay. He is still conscious.
And I'm going to move a little bit towards Ore.
Okay. And then Alondiel, it is your turn.
Okay. I am gonna cast Toll the Dead on the dude being grappled.
Okay.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
16.
Fails.
Okay.
He's injured, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
Makes it-
severely injured.
Makes it D12s. That's 25.
Okay.
damage.
Yeah. He's dead.
You messed him up, but good.
And
He just goes limp in Z2's arms.
Wait, he
that's
should have
for
got
the
the other
Strike
guy.
Gene you have tormented.
The other guy's about to lose. We're about to lose line of sight on. He's at the top of that dune over
Well,
by Mizeki.
he's knocked and prone, and Mizeki's
And
right
I'm
next to him.
standing
next to him.
I hate these little scorpion buggers, so I am not going to move away because I don't want to get an extra attack on me.
Okay.
So I'm going to interpose my shield between me and them and like kick sand at them.
Okay. All right. The leader is going to stand up, pull out his large bone sword that he has, and swing at Mizeki, since you are standing next to him. And let's see here. First attack is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You'll take 12 slashing damage. And just a sec, I have to do
Right.
some calculations. Okay. And an additional 9 points of damage, because he's just awesome like that. The second attack is a 20 to hit, but the third attack is a nat 1.
Okay.
So from the second attack, you'll take 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay. That did not go well.
And
You're grievously wounded.
you see him standing there, breathing heavily, and he unleashes this just earthly, guttural scream. And you watch as his muscles kind of bulge out a bit, and his wound just kind of close just slightly. And he just looks at you and he goes, "Please let me go." And begins to walk away. Are you going to attack?
I mean, first I'm going to let him know. Usually you ask that before you hit someone with a sword.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to let him go. That would be silly.
Okay, you may take
You
an
just
attack of
hit
opportunity
me
as
with
he
a
begins
sword.
to walk away. He
Oh, you meant
thought a
like, am I
show of
going to?
force was needed because of how thoroughly you were demolishing him beforehand.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to take an attack of opportunity. I'll let him walk away slightly. That's fine.
Okay. He is technically off the map now at this point, but
May
not very
I
far.
non-lethally shoot him with my gun? And just kidding. Just
I
kidding.
mean, on your turn, absolutely. We're back to the top of the round, so that is Mizeki and Ore.
So is he's gone down the other side of the dune, so we can't see him.
Yeah.
We'd have to chase after him at this point for us, right?
Not yet. He's like at the top of it, cresting.
Yeah, he's
Gotcha.
currently skylined.
Yeah.
You could ask him.
I'm
where
gonna
he
start
went.
working my way over there. But I'm gonna yield to Mizeki's next action as I start making my. So I'll actually let Mizeki go first to see what happens. But my intention is based on what Mizeki does.
Okay.
I am going to try and gust of wind. I'm going to run around in front of him and try and gust of wind him back towards the battlefield.
Okay.
So that's 15 strength.
15 strength. He's pretty good at those.
Yeah,
That
unfortunately.
is a 22 strength.
Yeah, so it doesn't bother him. It does blind him potentially because there's a lot of wind.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just shout for everyone else and make sure that I am 80 feet away from him in front of him with my double move. And then I'll pass.
Okay. All right. Ore. So that's what Mizeki did. What are you doing?
Sure. So he's still very visible to us. Mazeki kind of took off,
Mazeki is no longer visible to you, though.
no longer visible down the side.
Yeah.
Mazeki, what is it that you yelled to everybody else?
I didn't yell anything to everyone else in particular. I yelled at the guy after he stabbed me and then asked to be
Oh,
let go.
gotcha. I am going to. This guy's a humanoid, right?
He's human.
Hold person. Wisdom save 17.
Okay. Come on. 10.
So he's held. And I am going to approach him.
Wait. He has an ability that lets him reroll.
Oh, okay.
12.
Okay, so he's held, and I'm going to approach him. As I approach, he can't answer when he's held, right? Or can he?
What does hold person say?
Let's see. Choose a
Just
humanoid that you can
paralyzed.
see within range. The target must make a
He
wisdom
can't
save.
move or speak yet.
He's paralyzed. So if he's paralyzed, is he able to speak?
Yeah, no, he can't move or speak. Paralyzed.
Yep.
Gotcha. So with him held, and I approach him, and I kind of look at the rest of the party. Do we want to ask him any questions?
Take his sword.
I'll start stripping his weapons off of him once I get up there and just start disarming him as best I can. I'll just throw them like casually, like 20, 30 feet away,
Okay.
back towards the rest of us.
What was your speed? Because that was 30 feet and you're not to him.
Oh, I thought I got me right next to him. I'm sorry. That is get closer another 5 feet? Because I thought it said 30 feet when it put me next to him.
30 feet is right where you ended up. You're 5 feet away.
So he's off. The square is off,
well,
right?
like, yeah. And actually, no, he's even further because he's off the map. So, because he
Oh, I thought
walked
Mazeki
away.
blew him.
He's
I thought
like
he blew him back
No,
into the
Mazeki
map.
tried, but he succeeded.
Well,
Yeah.
can Mazeki go up and strip him of weapons?
on my turn.
Mazeki's
Yeah.
turn, yeah.
Either way, he's still held. So once I get close the distance to him, I'm going to start stripping the weapons away. But I shout out to everybody else as I'm making way over to him, if we want to ask him any questions.
Right. Yeah, you still got another 30 feet to go to reach him. So. All right. Zerdig.
Well, it's probably not very nice to shoot that guy anymore. We got all these scorpions on me. If I move away from the scorpions, do I get an opportunity attack, like just like any normal creature?
Yep.
All right. So really, we'll let everybody else handle that stuff, and he'll start attacking the swarm. They are not fairy fired, so we'll just swing the greatsword at it. He'll just drop his large gun on its what is it called, strap, whatever the sling, yeah, and then take out his greatsword and start attacking these little skills. I guess thematically it makes a lot more sense if he's not using a greatsword, but mechanically that's his other weapon. So he's using a greatsword to smash tiny little scorpions.
See, this is when bonfire comes in handy because then you just set a bonfire and you just listen to the little pops and then you walk away.
And then you eat deliciously cooked scorpion.
You know, that is a
I
good
I
reminder.
honestly I've never had scorpion.
It's pretty good.
Okay, I'm willing to accept
We're
that.
just gonna thorn whip the scorpions.
Okay.
Actually, I think thorn whip is a ranged attack. Never mind. I'll just swing my sword at.
All right.
Thorn whip.
Imagine
Thorn whip
it's like a golf
melee.
swing at him.
Thorn whip is a melee attack with a range, so you can still do it in melee.
Nice. All right. Thorn whip it is.
Okay.
18 thorn whip on the things on me.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. It does 7 piercing damage.
Okay. The swarm is still swarming. But,
And then we'll
you
have
killed a
Z2.
couple of them.
Yeah. Then Z2 will come over and attack.
Your swarm
if
or
I can get to
Alondiel's
the right thing.
swarm?
My
Okay.
he rolls a nat 19.
Yeah, that's gonna
So
hit.
that's gonna hit. It's like a 24. Yeah. What is his damage? I think it's a D10.
I don't know.
Yeah, we tried adding him to my sheet, but it didn't really work. I think it's like 3. I'll look up the actual damage, but yeah, he should hit. It's a force weapon, and then I'm gonna look up the actual damage profile. But I think it's a D10.
Okay. Yeah, 3
And
force
that's it.
damage. He kills a few more than you did, but it's still swarming.
All right, I'm all done.
Okay. So that was you. And Z2. The giant scorpions are going to continue running away.
The close one is at 15 still.
Okay.
Oh,
Nat
it's actually
20 on its
2d8.
save.
Oh,
Okay, if
it'll
you want to go
still
ahead
take.
and re-roll that damage and tell me, and I'll
Ooh, that's a
adjust it.
much better roll. That's a 15 this time,
15.
and if it nat 20, that's gonna save for half.
Yeah. Okay.
Take
Yeah,
that, little
and
swarms.
and Z2
Oh
actually hit
yeah.
for 10.
That's gonna kill both of the swarms probably.
Huzzah!
14, so 12, 18, so 16. Yeah, that's gonna kill both of the swarms.
Is the other giant scorpion still in the range of spirit guardians?
Yeah.
Not the far one. One of them is
The
just
closer
at
one
15.
to you, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. And they're going to continue running. And this one's going to continue running, so we'll just set them to be invisible because they are off the map at this point. There we go. All right. Sadzi.
I guess I'll move towards Mizeki and Ore, who are holding this dude. Can I ready a firebolt if he looks like he's gonna start being aggressive to either of them?
Yeah, you can.
Cool.
All right, Alondiel.
I'll move up, but I'll stay 20 feet away from him.
Okay.
Well, however close I can move.
Yeah. Well,
But
remember he's
not to
30
get
feet
him
beyond the
within.
edge of this map, so.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, we could just like reset it by once Z2 and Zerdig move closer, just by shifting everybody to the opposite side. Just be like, okay.
I'll not move, and I'll let you just do that. Well, actually, it might be easier if I do.
Yeah.
Did I move be 30 or 25?
That was 20.
Spot. Okay. Yeah, and he's off map, so he's not within 15 of me. Okay.
Correct. All right. What's the hold person save number again?
It is a where is it? Wisdom 17.
He fails, so he does not break free. And that brings us to the top of the round. So both Ore and Mazeki are close enough to close in on him.
I am going to run at him, so he automatically fails the gust of wind and gets thrown 15 towards everyone else.
Okay.
And I guess I'll blast him again just for fun.
Okay.
We don't want to kill him. We want to question him. Then you can kill him.
I mean, he's pretty strong. He probably won't die. And it has advantage. So cast blast 2 damage 1. So 9 and 15 total damage. The second one to hit is a 15. 15 hit him.
15 does not. That was with
Okay,
advantage,
so
though?
that was with advantage. It's very sad. The rolls are very sad. I deal 9 damage to him.
9 damage. Okay.
and he's flying around the ground. I
Okay.
think he's knocked down. Does it say it knocks him down, or does it push him? It just says he's pushed.
Pushed. Yeah. So he's still
Oh.
standing.
And he's still standing. So he's standing there, unable to move, sliding along the ground.
Yep. All right. Londiel, or no, not Londiel. Ore. Sorry.
Well, I was waiting to see what Mazeki was going to do, and Mazeki started shooting him.
Oh, yeah,
So,
sorry. I will say we
uh,
might as well capture him. I'll shout that out.
that's fine. I'm going to follow through what I was doing before, and I'll just approach him and start stripping his weapons and everything off on him while he's still paralyzed under my command, my control. So I'll close the distance as needed and just start stripping the weapons off him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Mazeki pushed him 15 feet closer to you, so very easy for you to get to him and take his sword and his bow and quiver.
While I'm taking everything off of him, Ore is going to say, I believe we will let you go with the toll of all of your gear. And I just start taking everything off of him.
Okay.
And then I kind of look up at Mazeki and kind of wink at him like, does that work? Is that good sarcasm?
I'm going to give him a thumbs up.
Zerdig, your turn.
Zerdig and Z2 will just approach. I'm not sure if we need to be in initiative order other than his whiz saves at this point, but Zerdig and Z2 will just approach the dunes. The scorpions, I'm sure, are like way off in the distance. It would have been nice to get some of them, but I doubt we can catch them at this point.
Yeah.
Is this guy
And-
human?
Yeah, he's human.
Got
He'll put the great sword back on his back while he's walking. He's not even like running. He's just kind of like walking because they clearly have it handled over there. And then he'll take out his large rifle and have that in his hands as he approaches.
Okay. All right. Sadzi, Alandiel, or is anybody still being aggressive to him, or are we just going to let him try and break free of this paralysis?
If he breaks free, I'm gonna ready an attack in case I have to hit him.
I'm gonna maintain my concentration, but I'll stay back so he's just out of range of it.
Okay, so you're saying 20 feet back, so he's not in range.
Yeah, and I've readied the fire blast.
If he gets hostile, specifically. And so you're
Yes,
just
if
going to
he
keep
starts
doing that
attacking someone.
You're just going to keep doing that on each of your turns?
Probably.
Okay.
I'll keep it readied until we either, interrogate him and confirm he's not a threat, or we need to kill him, and he's already dead. So
I am not going to ready it like a spell attack. I'm just going to grab the handle of the sickle and be ready to attack him. Well, because I got to keep the concentration on the hold person while I do this.
Right. Which, you can ready that. He gets a chance to escape before you get the chance to ready that because your last turn was spent coming over to take his stuff off of him. So,
right.
He is going to try and end this paralysis. What's the DC again?
Wisdom of 17.
No! 16.
Natural 1? Oh, 16.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's worse when it's close.
Yeah.
And he gets pushed back again because he auto fails the gust of wind and it triggers on the start of his turn.
Okay, which pushes him into range of Alondiel's Spirit Guardians. So
I don't think you can be forced moved into Spirit Guardians. I'm pretty sure the Spirit Guardians only triggers.
It's at the start of your turn.
or
and
the
if you
first time that
willingly
you
do it.
enter it.
Yeah.
You have to willingly enter it, though.
Yeah.
It's the whole forced move thing with the moonbeam and all that junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll still start his turn. His turn technically starts before mine.
Well, no, because
that was his turn.
That is
Oh.
the start of his turn. So
But
at the
like
end of the
he
start of
saves
his
it
turn,
at the
he's
end of his
done it.
turn. So
I
Okay.
don't think it triggers because
yeah.
he's pushed at the start of his turn, but he's not in it.
Okay.
Very silly.
So yeah, so if no one's being aggressive, he's gonna keep trying to break free. So if anybody's trying to attack or kill him, because as long as you're holding this, like he can't talk or anything. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we'll get into position, surround him, and then when the spell drops, we can talk to him or whatever. And
Or we could
but if
tie him up
he,
while he's paralyzed.
Was
Yeah.
just going to
yeah,
suggest the same thing. Don't we have manacles in somebody's inventory? Do I have
yeah,
manacles?
Zerdig has some.
I'll drop the gust of
Sheriff Zerdig.
wind now.
okay, you drop gust of wind.
Zerdig will drop fairy fire as well, so he stops glowing up like a purple people eater.
Okay,
And we bind his arms behind his back, I would assume, with the manacles or rope.
okay.
Yeah,
So
he's
you're
got the
leaving his
manacles. We can use
armor
those.
on. Then you're just gonna take his weapons, and then this turn you're gonna bind him with manacles.
What's his armor look like? Is it
It's wood and
that
bone.
patchworky stuff, wooden bone?
Yeah.
I mean, taking his armor off is gonna take minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just we just manacle him.
Yeah, just let's secure those hands.
Okay.
And maybe his feet. Let's tie his feet up too.
Okay. End of his
Well, in that
turn.
case, I volunteer Ori to carry him around because he can't walk if you do that, Ori.
We could
Good
just have
point.
C2
That's
drag
fine.
him.
You can fireman carry this guy across the desert if necessary.
Okay. Alundiel, do you end Spirit Guardians or do you move out of range?
I'll drop it.
Okay. All right. So at the start of his turn, you guys have him bound, and he keeps going, and he starts to struggle and move against it, and he goes, "Well played." So 100 gold, and we forget this ever happened. And he kind of gestures towards his coin pouch, but he can't get it because his hands are tied.
I'll reach down, grab the coin pouch off of his belt, toss it over to Mizeki, and then look back down at him.
Is it your group that raids the stationary mountain?
We've been there. Easy pickings.
How far away is your settlement?
You're not from here.
Correct. How far away is your settlement?
Zerdig is gonna like nudge Ori in the side and just be like, "You're always on the move," because we've already been told that.
Oh, I believe they would have had some sort of base of operations to be able to strike out of, but if they're always nomadic, that does make sense with the desert. How many people are in your group?
So our settlement is about 3 miles that way, and he points off to the southeast. There you will find 500 of us waiting.
That is good to know.
I don't believe him.
Oh yeah, well, make an insight check then.
I don't feel the need to make an insight check. I'm not attempting to assess whether he's lying to us. I just don't believe him.
Well, I
I'll
can
do an
make an
insight check.
insight. Okay, Ore, do you and I
Out of
both want
4.
to do one?
It doesn't
I've
matter. He's lying to us.
already clicked the roll button. We'll see how long it takes for D&D Beyond to roll it. That's a natural 19 for 24.
Yeah, he's lying, just straight up.
I'm guessing your numbers are closer to 15 or maybe 20. Am I right?
No answer.
Does his no answer give away if I'm close to the mark or not?
What is the DC to break out of these manacles that you guys have? Let's see here.
You're talking about like the flat strength check.
20 strength check. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually insanely low.
Yep.
Because I feel like the game wildly underestimates how strong iron manacles are. If someone with a 20 strength, like, that means a normal child could potentially break out of these.
I don't necessarily think it's breaking out of it versus like just forcing your hand out of it.
But that's the dexterity check.
Yeah, that would be more dexterity. Like
Which
this
also a
literally
20.
breaks the manacle.
Yeah.
I imagine the 20's like chinking one of the chains enough that you can separate them.
Yeah.
These are garbage manacles, is all I'm saying. Like they're not actually manacles; they're actually novelty BDSM manacles.
They're furry cuffs that have the safety latch.
All right.
Now these
Well-
are probably like the really, really cheap ones that bend when you look at them wrong.
You can tell on his turn that he tried to break them, but he did not succeed.
So, what is your life worth to you?
Zerdig is gonna like straight up slap him in the face and be like, "Don't you break my manacles?"
I mean, he already told you. Like, Ore made a promise that you'd just take all his gear and you'd set him free, and then you tied him up, and he offered 100 gold
Oh.
to forget it all happened. So he's given you what his life is worth.
If
that's all
we
he's
let
got
you
at this point.
keep your gold, can you defend the Thrykeen rather than raid them?
If you let me keep my weapons, I can.
Is it intrinsically evil to kill a person who constantly commits evil acts?
Debatable. The downside with sending him to guard the stationary mountain is we have no way of keeping up on him.
Yeah, you don't want to ask the wolf to guard the hen house. That's not a good.
Yeah.
That's just
not a good
one
thing.
dude with no
With
mount
his
killed all his stuff, and they've got guards.
with his answer, do I believe that he would be honorable and follow through on that?
Doesn't matter if you believe him. We don't believe him.
They
Why don't we
say
just-
no.
Why don't we
Okay.
just keep him with us? Because he would know what in the desert's good to eat and not good to
Yes.
eat and where things are likely to be.
Yeah, bring him with us, and then when we run into some of his buddies, we can be like, "Hey, talk to them."
And besides, he's human. So, like, that means he has blood. So if I run out of supplies, there he is.
He's human. That means he has blood.
As you say this, you just
What?
kind of see the look of shock and horror on his face. Like, what are you talking about?
Can I flash him a very big, happy, fangy smile?
All right, let's get back to what we were doing. So I guess he's coming with us because you guys won't murder him. Cool. All right.
All right. On his next turn, he just kind of looks at you all, and then in a quick motion, just pulls his arms apart, and the chains just break, as he stands up and kicks his legs out. He goes, "We had a deal. You get my equipment. I get to walk away. You also got 100 gold." And he begins to slowly just kind of back away, hands up in the air.
Oh no, he's broken the manacles and is coming right for us.
Are the manacles broken in one place only, or
I'm assuming he's got the cuffs on, and it's just the
Yeah,
chain.
it's got like
Oh.
cuffs with like chains hanging out from them, which you could technically
snap.
use as a weapon at this point. But
Zerdig, he's committing theft. He's stealing your manacles. Get him.
I mean, tell Z2. It's probably more likely to do good.
Yeah.
As you're trying to walk away,
We-
do you believe that you are a match for us? Do you believe that if you got the rest of your team together and came after us, do you think you would stand a chance in open battle with us again?
I called for a retreat immediately after a fireball. We don't get many people that can do things like that out here. Why do you think I started running? I think I could take any of you in single combat, but not as a group.
Challenge accepted.
We should have him
He'll
fight
step up
Zerdig.
with his sword.
I think he should fight Zerdig.
Yeah, you give him back
I
his
will
sword,
make-
he'll happily do so.
All right, let's do this.
Are you really gonna give him his sword back to fight him?
You have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on the
Zerdig,
ground. I threw everything like 15, 20 feet away from him.
Zerdig
So
will pick up his sword and throw it to him. Yeah. He
Why?
broke his manacles. He's mad. This is a, I don't know, honor battle. He's not gonna kill
It-
him, but
It's become a fight of honor. He's got to get back his manacles.
yeah.
Okay.
Do
All
you know
right.
how much these manacles cost?
Well, let's do a
Like
new initiative
10
roll
whole
for
gold.
just him and Zerdig then.
I mean, Zerdig's not trying to kill the guy. All of his swings are going to be non-lethal, but
Yeah, your swings are going to be non-lethal. So,
Zerdig isn't exactly scared of dying from him at this
I'm
point, but maybe we'll see.
I'm gonna position myself into being proactive if this starts to go real sideways.
Zerdig got a 15.
okay. He got an 18. And he goes,
All right.
so, rules. We fight. If I win, I walk away. I promise I won't kill you. Agreed?
If I win, you show us around for a little bit. You act as our guide for a 10-day. I also won't kill you.
Depending on if
Please,
you win,
please don't kill us either.
if you win, I have a counter offer for you as well.
If I win, I walk away.
Deal.
All right. So, 18, he will go first. He will step up next to you. And he
Oh yeah,
will
I do have Z2 still.
one-on-one, so no Z2.
No,
'Cause
Z2 is mechanically part of Zerdig.
He specified single combat, though.
All right, fine.
So, well, all right. So first strike is a 14.
Misses.
Second strike is a 22.
That would hit, but I might shield it. You know what? We won't. We'll just take it.
Okay. Uh, 23 points of slashing damage.
Oh snap! That's pretty much a lot.
Third attack is a 23 to hit.
All right, we'll shield that one.
Okay. And then it is your turn.
Ouch! He'll say to the man. All right, well then he'll just take out his sword, I think, and we will go ahead and cast Branding Smite, and then we'll try and attack him a little bit. Actually, ooh, this is spicy. Zerdig is gonna cast. I'm debating having him cast Darkness on himself with his
Oh,
racial.
wait, you're not the warlock. I was like, oh, wait, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he
yeah.
can't see in it, but it would help this dude not just wreck him. But that's okay. We won't do that right now. We'll just go ahead and cast Branding Smite and then attack him twice.
Okay.
Let me make sure my slots are right, and then make sure my health is right.
So 16 is his AC. So.
All right. That is a 21 for the first one.
Okay.
So that will go off, and then I'll also get the Branding Smite in there. So let's do that. Come on, D&D Beyond. All right, so that's 12 without the Branding Smite. And let's look at what that actually does. The Branding Smite adds another 8, so that's 20. And there's another effect. What does it do? It makes him so he can't go invisible, something like that. Yeah, he sheds light in a dim light in a 5-foot radius. So here's my secondary question for next turn. If I cast darkness, that light will get snuffed out, right?
Yeah.
Or will it stay so I can see him in the dark?
No, it'll be snuffed out, right? That's how darkness works.
All right. Yeah, that's all of Zerdig's actions. So back to that.
Okay.
He'll compliment his hard hit. Like I haven't been hit like that since I fought with my friends
All right.
a few months ago.
First attack is a 17,
That's a miss.
and then a 21,
We'll shield that.
and then a 12.
I should have taken the damage. All right.
Okay.
How's he looking?
He's looking pretty good.
Oh, snap.
So, like, I
All
mean,
right.
if it weren't for all the damage that he took from, like, the fireball and everything in the fight, because he hasn't had a chance to recover, he'd be looking amazingly.
Well,
Like,
that's not.
he
awesome.
definitely is very correct about the assumption about being able to take any of you in a one-on-one.
Yeah, I'm regretting dropping my fairy fire against him, but Zerdig's gonna do the fight, and he's pretty confident that his buddies will not let him just like get killed right in front of their faces. So let's see. Do we want to do the darkness play?
I'll start sketching the fight as they battle.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand there and watch and be like, if this guy beats Zerdig, I swear, I'm just gonna like yell at Zerdig for the next hour and a half after we res him. If we res him.
He did promise not to kill, so you'll get to find out if he's a human of his word. I mean, this is
I'm
like
gonna-
prime Ito. Too bad Ito is gone. Like, Ito would
I
have loved
know.
this challenge.
That would have been so.
Yeah, he would have shield bashed him and then
so
shoved
awesome.
him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Every
a
move.
real quick survey of the horizon really quick and make sure there's nothing else of concern that might be moving up towards us.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Rolling now.
Is there any quicksand near us?
That's a total of an 11.
You don't notice anything. What was that, Zerdig? Zerdig, what'd you say?
Oh, I was saying, do we see any quicksand around?
No. No quicksand.
All right, Zerg's going to try something creative and then perhaps die. He's going to cast Vortex Warp on this guy. So it's a DC 16 con save. Let's see, it's teleported far away.
Okay.
I'm assuming he has a really good con, I know, but I'm like, this is fun. Let's try it.
Yeah, 23.
All right, well, that didn't end up very well. So that's his turn, I think.
All right.
Let me see what bonus actions he's got. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. First attack, 11. Second
Misses.
attack, 17.
Misses.
Third attack, 11.
Also misses.
Dice roll's not going great anymore for him.
Well, I'm grateful for that because he does a lot of damage. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try. With the greatsword. That is a 21. Oh, I forgot to do my second attack that first round. I was like, this guy's
wait,
really hard.
didn't you do branding smite?
Yeah, but I get 2 attacks around.
Yeah.
And I forgot to do this anyway. So 21 and 17.
Yeah, those both hit.
So that's 17 damage and 8 damage because I literally rolled 2 ones.
So 25 damage total?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's all. Yeah.
All right. His turn. 12.
Missed.
22.
That is a hit, which we will take.
Okay.
Actually, that he has 3 attacks and Zerg knows that. We'll shield that one.
Okay. That's less than 22, so they will all miss. Yep.
All right.
Shield has saved your life for sure.
That's a 13, which is not going to do it.
Nope.
And a 27.
Yep, that'll do it.
For 14.
14. Okay.
That's it.
All right. First attack. That is a crit for a total of 29.
All right. Well, that hurt.
So that will be.
But Zerg's still up.
Oh, I was saying 29 to hit. 16 damage.
Oh, I took 29 damage. Okay, let me give me some life.
Yeah. Second strike is a 14 to hit.
That's a miss.
And a 22 to hit on the third.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. For 12 points of damage.
All right. Zerdig's not looking too good, but he's up still, so he'll just keep swinging back and forth. At
Yeah.
this point, we're just trading blows, and he is slightly glowing from the original Branding Smite.
Yep.
My only regret is that I wish I hadn't dropped Fairy Fire, because this would be great if I had advantage.
Yeah, but you probably would have lost it at some point.
That's a 12, and that's a 25.
12 misses, 25 hits.
It's for a total of 14 more.
14. Okay. He's not
That's
looking
turn.
good.
Okay, that's the end of the turn.
All right, his turn. First strike, 14.
Miss.
Second strike, 21.
Ooh, hit. And shield with his last spell
Okay.
slot.
23.
Misses from shield.
Okay. All right, your turn.
14
14 misses.
and 15 hits.
Misses.
Exactly.
16.
Wait, I thought you said this thing was 15.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
probably going down.
First strike, 18.
Hits exactly.
Okay. 15 points of damage.
Still up, but barely. Oh, I have inspiration. Ha, I should remember that. All right. Still up.
Okay. Second strike. Yeah, that's gonna hit. That's a 28.
Yeah, he goes down.
Okay. It is 11 points of damage.
Boo.
And as you crumple to the ground, he just looks around at everybody. What is everybody doing?
I'm gonna start making my way over to heal him,
Okay.
and I'll wave him off.
Yeah. Like, he
Yeah.
was making sure that no one was going to be aggressive, because if any of you were going to be aggressive, he was just gonna.
Yeah, no weapons in hand. I give him the little like go.
And he puts his sword back in its scabbard and begins walking away off in the direction that one of the giant scorpions ran off in.
As he starts walking away, I will say to him, if you and your comrades refrain from attacking the stationary mountain, upon our return, I will grant you an extra 200 gold. And I just leave that out there for him.
Okay. So, yeah, he had 15 hit points left, Zerdik.
Ooh.
So you
Yeah.
almost got him.
I'm pretty miffed that I forgot my second attack. Also, in character Z2 would not, or sorry, Zerdig would not have agreed to that without Z2. But since we're already into it, I was like, we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
37 is what you heal.
I technically also need healing because I have 6 hit points.
That attack that I forgot would have done 14. He would have had 1 hit point left.
Well, like, and the thing is it's like, once he gets below half health, he deals less damage.
Yeah.
And so
That's all right. It was a fun fight.
Yeah.
37, you said?
Yes. Who else said they wanted healing?
Zeki he's down 40 hit points right now.
Yeah.
How much do you have left?
6.
I mean, if we want to
No,
do
you're
some
not allowed
custom
to wait for me to be
maintenance.
unconscious. I get full healing no matter what.
Oh, you get full healing no matter what?
Yes, we've talked about it.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't remember. Yeah, I'll
Not
cast
being
you.
unconscious
I'll
every
use one of my 4th levels to give you 37.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was surprised when you were still standing after those hits against you, Mizeki. Like, I was pretty sure he was going to get the chance to walk away.
I have above average hit points at this point. I
Yeah.
think I'm like 2 or 3 above average.
So, and then,
And yet, you're still grievously wounded.
yeah,
I
he
mean, I
hoped
get
his
hit
show of force
twice.
would be enough for you to just be like, yep, you can walk. I don't want to die. So,
Yeah.
ugh. Okay. So, you are healing up the wounds. The sun has fully set at this point, and the cold is going to start coming. Do you want to keep pressing on or set up camp here where they know that you are?
Let's push
I
on a
think
little bit.
just we move forward.
Yep, movement will
So
create warmth.
the coldest part of the night is how far away?
So the coldest part of the night is going to be basically right before sunrise. So,
And so
um,
we have roughly how many hours? Like 8 hours of darkness, 9 hours of darkness?
yeah, you've got at this point about 8 hours of complete darkness that you'll be able to travel through, and the longer you go, the colder it's going to get. And just
How
before
about we
sunrise is the coldest.
go about 4 hours and assess if we should camp
Hmm.
about 4 hours away?
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds like a plan.
Stars
Agreed.
look.
all right. Ore, I know you're the survival guy. Go ahead and give me a survival check
I'll
to
help
just
you.
kind of navigate as you're going through,
I'm
especially now
also
that you're
gonna have
navigating by stars. That's
I'm
all
also
you.
gonna have Jericho up in the air regularly from now on. I forgot about this. Just looking out for stuff
Okay.
so that we don't get ambushed like that again.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have a bonus for like wisdom and survival. So if Elandiel and Ore need a little extra,
They should be good. They
Guide
both
So
have.
did I get
guidance and help.
advantage? Sure. Did I get advantage on that roll?
Yeah, because Alondiel's helping, right? Or are you just doing guidance,
Gotcha.
Alondiel?
Both.
Both, yeah. Yeah, so you get advantage and then guidance.
All right. So with advantage, oh, that's not better. Um,
Still get the D4 though.
D4. For 4, that's good. Okay, so that is 19 total.
Okay, yeah. Easy enough. You're very proficient at navigating by the stars, having spent your entire life staring up into the sky.
Yep. How do the stars look? Anything special about the sky? Because I'm keeping my eye on the sky anyway with the chasing directions. Anything stand out in the night sky?
Nothing stands out. The stars are not quite in the position that you used to, but you account for that being that you're on a completely different continent. So,
But it's not dramatically a different sky from this perspective, even.
correct. Yeah, it's just like you look at it and it's like, shouldn't that be like a little bit further over to the left? And then you're just like, oh wait, yeah.
With the astrolabe and a little bit of star guidance that I'm kind of making these assessments, can I get a much better idea of where globally we are? Can I do a little Ore GPS with my astrolabe and the stars?
Yeah, so with your 19, um, you already kind of established where you were in the floating belt, and you know that you're still pretty much in the northern hemisphere of the world, and you're about equal latitude of like what have you passed
Mint?
over there? No,
Would it be
you're a
Mint
lot further
or
north than Mint. I'm trying to think, what did you pass through there? But no, you didn't pass through. You just teleported up past all that stuff. You don't know
no?
what
We did take the main road down from Drusus initially
to
to Mint.
yeah
No,
to
oh no, we did
Orthris.
teleport to Mint. We did teleport to Mint. You're
Yeah.
right. Never mind.
Yeah, the only time that you went down the road was Drusus to Orthrus, which they're not too far apart.
Are we comparable to like Harrington?
You're a little bit further north than Harrington, so
I
like
can
you're
kind
a
of gauge it
lot
like a little bit.
further east,
Right, but
significantly.
at like the same latitude as like Blue Lake,
Yeah.
Typhon's Folly, somewhere in that area. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I was trying to look at like what cities you've actually visited, and I'm like, oh nope, nope, you haven't visited any of those. So if you look at the map,
To travel more.
you're about even with Bloodside. So
Got it. Yeah, so we'll just go for 4 hours or so, and then as the chill starts to kick in, we'll set up camp for the night.
okay.
I would say for traveling, we'll stay as best we can to the tops of the dunes and not travel at the base of the dunes. But when we're going to camp for the night, I'll settle us in the lower section below, like the top of a dune,
Yeah, just
so
below the lip.
we're less visible from where we've been coming from.
Okay.
Covered for one side, but close enough that we can just kind of like peek up over the top
Yep.
of it.
We really should have gotten like a hover car. That would have been a great idea.
All right. Night goes by uneventful as the sun begins to rise. You know you need to rest for a couple more hours just to let it warm up a bit and to get everybody a chance to fully rest. But you are able to go ahead and get your long rest, and then you can begin heading out before it gets too hot.
Okay.
Um, any changes to plan or direction based on previous day?
Nope.
Has there been any development of seeing stuff on the horizon?
No, you haven't seen anything.
Yep,
Nothing
keep the
seems
same
to be
heading.
following you. Okay.
Yep. The ritual cast water walk as we break down camp, and then off we go.
Okay. You continue on, and the day goes fairly uneventful. There's just a few little bits of cacti and things that you pass along the way. Um, Way off in the distance, and as you're coming near the end of the day, you can see one of the mountains much taller than the one that is stationary, slowly moving off in the distance. You estimate that if you walked towards it, since it's coming not directly in your direction, but it's coming closer to you, that if you went to it, you could probably meet up with it in about 3 hours' time. If you wanted to press forward through the heat instead of stopping to rest as it reaches the hottest point of the day.
I apologize. What did we see that is coming towards us?
One of the mountains. It's much
One of the mountains.
taller
Gotcha.
than the stationary one that you arrived at, which that one was only 1,000 feet high. This one seems to easily be at least triple that.
I'm just imagining us getting run over by the mountain.
I'd put it to the party. Do you guys want to try and push the heat a little bit to get a little closer to this mountain, see what's going on with it, or should we just camp out and wash
I
our hands?
mean, my main concern is it's going to just be a mountain. Like,
But they did say that all of these are populated.
To his
So
Yeah.
knowledge, yeah.
yeah. So we I guess we can check them out and see if they've got any stuff.
Well, I mean,
maybe
Maybe
just
figure
learn a
out
little bit
why
about how it
this one
moves.
moves.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. The same thing. Ask them some questions.
is
There's
it
a bunch.
basically
Yeah.
coming towards us?
No, not quite. So like you're further south and it's continuing heading east, but it's not heading towards you on the south. But you could intercept it by heading north.
But it wouldn't dramatically change our heading by intercepting it.
It would dramatically change
Yeah.
your heading.
And we're not going towards anything in particular. We might as well.
Yeah, because, I mean, you need to head all the way until you hit the coast, and then either north or south. And then Aegon recommended the north, because that's what he knows. So, it just
Okay.
delays how far west you go initially, because basically you have to turn and go a majority north instead of a majority west.
Yeah, but it's
But
also
we're
carrying us back east if we hang out on it.
Correct. If you climb it and get on board, it's going to be taking you away.
Let's skip it and find another one.
We could send the bird and see if he spots any obvious signs of civilization. Like,
We-
adjust that way, and if he does, we'll
We
fly
could
over.
still
Yeah.
head north and get a closer view of it as it's going by and kind
Yeah.
of make some assessments.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily feel that we should push ourselves, but
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's-
only pushing yourselves because it's getting hot, and you'll be bearing down in the sun. So it's, do you skip setting up your camp to give you guys self shade, and some respite from the heat, or do you just push, risking a
I
little bit of
think we'll
heat
be okay.
exhaustion?
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Zerdig would very much like to sleep somewhere and get a long rest, seeing as he just got beat down.
You already got that last
We
night.
already did. Yeah. We rested last night. We're in the day and it's starting to get warm, basically.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Like, this is the next afternoon as it's starting to get warm. Is when you see the mountain off in the distance.
Well, in that case, let's push through. He has he can prepare long strider, and we can move a little bit faster for an hour. Well, one person can.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any resistances to high temperatures?
Nope.
Okay. If you're going to press forward, I would like each of you to make a con save then.
So I have a question. I do have the absorb elements spell. That's a reaction. It's not something that you would use
It's not
over
damage.
prolonged exposure. Yeah, it's not it would resistance to heat, but it's not.
No,
It's a
no,
reaction.
it
It's not
gives you a resistance
necessarily
to fire damage, not heat.
to fire. Gotcha. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Cool.
Like that's why I specified high temperatures.
Nope.
Zerdig got a 15, but I do have a question. The answer's
Mhm.
probably no. Can he help someone flash of genius this con save?
Well, what does Flash of Genius say?
It lets them add, if I see someone fail a save, it lets me add my intelligence modifier to their save. But I'm assuming since this is a con save, it's probably like a prolonged survival type thing instead
Yeah,
of
it's
like
a prolonged survival type thing.
yeah.
So
22.
okay.
okay. I rolled something abysmal, but I do have inspiration, so can I re-roll that for inspiration?
Yeah, you get to decide when you use your inspiration. I believe you also took a luck point at level 5 as well, so don't forget about that. You have that every
Did
day.
I?
Did you take that, or did you take the extra damage? I forget which one you took.
I think you took the luck point, didn't you? It should be in your notes.
I think the two of us took the look. I
No, it
did.
was the extra damage.
Okay.
The brutal critical.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay, because
A
I
plus
haven't.
1 on crit.
I took the advantage and I never remember to use it. I have it written on a tab in my book so I could see it, and I never remember to do it.
Yeah, I always laugh
Join
when you
the
guys
club.
are like, yep, forget to do this. So okay.
I got an
Well,
11.
yeah, I'll stick with the bad roll. Because it was 8.
Okay.
I'm not
well,
gonna be in my best
so-
form.
I can grant you a D6 on that because I rolled my my omen dice at this morning, and so I get wheel, so I can grant you a D6 to add to your roll.
For me or Mizeki?
Who had the lowest?
I have an 11. She has an 8.
I will give it to Sadzi.
Okay, 1d6. Okay, that brought me up to a 13.
Okay. In that case, Mizeki, you are the
Oh,
only one that
I-
fails.
I do have 3 of these per long rest. Can I give the other one to Mizeki as well?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
Um,
I'll
in,
give one to Mizeki as well.
in that case, it doesn't matter what you roll, Mizeki. It was a DC 12.
It matters to me. I
So-
rolled a 1. I got a
Yeah.
spell.
Congrats!
Hey!
Yeah, you make it. None of you are affected by the high temperatures thanks to Oray's craziness. Um, and you all press forward. As you travel for the first hour with Longstrider, right, Zerdig? You were doing that. You make good
Sorry,
time.
I just have to take a moment and say that, or he's like, it's a fine, it's a dry heat. And they're like, oh yeah, it is a dry heat.
As you see Ore start slowly glowing red, but he's okay with it.
All right.
I legit almost spit out my tea when you said that. Thank you.
Okay. But you all continue on. After the second hour, as you're getting closer, you can see the mountain in much greater detail. It's easily over 3,000 feet high as you've gotten closer to it, but it's not as wide as the one that you were stationed with, only a diameter of about 500 feet as opposed to the 1,000 feet that the other one had. And you can see that there are smaller peaks all along going up and down, and there are creatures flying and circling around each of these peaks, landing for a moment and then taking off and flying again. They are large humanoid sized creatures that you are able to easily identify as you've met a couple, Aarakocra. So it is indeed inhabited.
Should we approach
Want to go
or
hang out with them? I feel like we might as well. Like, we're basically wandering in the desert at this point. We might as
that's
well say,
true?
hey,
They may provide some details of the geography behind them.
All right.
sure, let's do it.
Okay. As you guys continue approaching, getting closer and closer, or once you reach about 500 feet away from the mountain, you watch as the Aarakocra, who are jumping out and circling and then flying back and landing on the peaks, three of them jump down and begin flying down, landing out in front of you. Can we help you?
Yes, we are traveling on a quest to help one of the mountains that used to be mobile that is now unfortunately stationary. We were hoping you could provide some insight to what you've passed over the last several days from the west.
It's a lot of sand, a little bit of plants. I recommend you abandon your quest. Helping Ist Mountain isn't worth it. We sent some people several months ago who never returned.
Were you able to discern any details for why they've stopped or what has caused them to stop?
We've got no clue. We sent people to find out. They haven't returned.
Let us
Have
ask a
you
different question. What makes your mountain move?
It's always moved.
Yes, but how?
do you understand the means of it?
Magic of some sort. We don't know how it's powered or where the power is kept, but it moves. We do
Has
not
it ever
control where
stopped?
it goes.
Does does it ever stop or has it ever stopped before?
Never.
Does it always move at the same speed?
Yes, ours moves at a nice slow pace of about 5 miles in an hour.
Do you have any sort of sand sailing ships?
No, we are not in need of such things.
Zerdig, do you think you could invent a sand sailing ship so that we don't have to
Um,
walk everywhere?
I need to understand how these mountains move first. Would it be possible for us to learn of your mountain, just observe and see how it moves
Can you fly?
for short periods of time? I believe some of us can. Not me myself.
Well, the only
I have spider
way
climb.
to reach our mountain is by flight. So,
I
Could
could.
we pay you money to carry us?
I don't think I could carry you in all of that armor and equipment.
I would be able to fly us up to that mountain, but I would have to make multiple trips and potentially take 2 of you each time.
You'll probably only be able to carry one person at a time, just because of
If
weight
I do
restrictions.
polymorph,
Oh,
I could carry 2 and just be a little slower.
yeah, okay. You're talking polymorph. I thought you were talking the fly
Yep.
spell. I was like, okay,
Nope,
yeah.
I don't have the fly spell.
How do
Okay.
we not have fly?
Satsi, do
We
you
are
have fly?
terrible wizards.
No, I just have spider climb.
Oh, yeah, well, you're fine then. You can actually just walk up it.
I technically have spider climb as well.
Well, there we go. Spider
Okay, yeah.
climb works as well, I guess.
It's gonna take me a minute to get to the base of the mountain, though.
Yeah.
It's only 5 miles an hour. We could close that gap.
Yeah, and you're only about 500 feet from the base of it. It's 3,000 feet to the summit, but there are smaller peaks along the way. So,
So I look at Mizeki and I say, "Would you be willing to carry the others while Sadzi and I climb up the side?"
Zerdig has spider climb too, so all I have to carry is a
Yeah.
Alondio.
Yeah, assuming that we
I
have the
can
spider climb
walk.
discussion in character, then Zerdig would clue into and be like, "Oh yeah, I do have that spell."
so Z2 and Elondiel then, right? Or can you cast
I
spider
can
climb on
walk.
multiple people?
Oh, as in have Mizeki cast it, and then as he walks up, ride him.
No, I was going to cast polymorph on Mizeki into a bird, so he can,
Okay.
because he's not going to be able to climb at all.
Yeah, spider
Oh.
climb
He
is
could
one
with spider
creature.
climb.
Yeah,
I thought, okay,
we could spider our way up this mountain. Sounds like a
Yeah.
plan.
Let's do it. But
The poor
it
price
only
fly.
lasts for an hour, so can we get up the mountain enough in an
No.
hour?
for
Uh,
1,000, was it 2,000 feet? 1,000 feet?
3.
well, the highest
3,000 feet.
peak is 3,000, but there
Why
are
don't
smaller
we
peaks
send the
along the
people who
way.
can natively do this first, and then once we figure out if we want to go to a particular spot, we can
But
get the
like,
rest there.
what's your
Yeah.
speeds?
Normal, mainly.
30.
Yeah, so spider climb doesn't change your speed or anything, right?
Yeah, so we
So
can move 60 per round max if we're sprinting.
yeah, so that's 60 per round, which is 600 per minute. Yeah, like if it lasts an hour, that's way more than enough time.
Actually, my speed's 35, and
Okay, so
spider
it's even
climb.
more enough time for you because yours is
Yeah,
also an 8. So
I can probably get there a little quicker than everybody else.
I
except
still vote
Mizeki.
that Mizeki stays here while you guys wander around the mountain, and when we find a place that looks interesting, then we can go.
Would you not like to fly, Mizeki?
Do I want to be a bird? No. Would I like to fly? Yes. Birds are not as good as horses. I'm sorry.
Opinions vary. Let me know if you change your mind.
Also, if the options are walk around the mountain or sit here for a while other people walk around the mountain, this seems relatively straightforward.
I mean, depending on how long that they're walking around the mountain, you'll have to follow along. So you won't be sitting there. Or you'll get abandoned as it slowly moves away from you.
It only goes 5 miles an hour, right? I go faster than that at a regular walking pace, I guess.
Yeah. But that's my point, is it's not just sitting there.
Well, yeah, but is it still coming towards us? Can't I just like get on the edge of it?
There's not a place down low for you to grab onto. Like that's why people are talking about spider climb and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this one doesn't have tunnels or anything. It's not a Thrycreen mountain, so it doesn't have the carved tunnels for them. It's
Is
just
there actually a
birds
village?
living on the top. Yeah. The Aarakocra have villages all throughout here.
Okay.
But they're all on, flat surfaces up there.
Yeah.
The closest of which is only 500 feet up, but this mountain goes all the way up to 3,000 or more feet.
I guess
So-
I can go to the 500 feet. That sounds fine.
Okay. But I don't know that they can cast Spider Climb on you, because there's limited casters, right? And they can only do one
Well,
creature
don't
at a
we
time.
have a set of shoes, right?
That's how I
That's
got
how
Spider
Ore
Climb.
gets up.
Yeah, that's how Ori has it. So it's just me and Elandiel and Z2.
Well, and Zerdig also needs a spell cast on him, right? He just has the spell.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you
he
have
can
this.
just carry Z2.
Right. Which still leaves Alandiel and Ore with
I
no
mean,
options.
I can stone shape a little ledge at the bottom for me to sit on as everybody goes up.
I can
But
also
Elandia would love
carry.
to go up.
Elandiel, how much do you weigh?
Not a lot. I have a strength of 7, so I'm very.
Yeah, I can carry Elandiel. My unencumbered weight is 360 pounds.
Oh yeah, you got me.
So
Don't
we can
worry.
just spider climb me, and I'll pick Elandiel up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Alandiel, if you just want to get over there and just be like, I want a seat from the mountain and just pull it out. I guess you
Oh,
could
no.
technically do that with Stone Shape.
Elandia definitely wants to go up. The view of what he could get up there, the
Yeah.
landscape.
Yeah. If that wasn't a 4th level spell, I was like, I guess technically you could just create stairs, but
It'd be really funny if you made a
you'd
red
run out of
summit.
you'd run out of spell
And-
slots pretty quick.
I
Very fast.
I could also turn into something that could carry people up the hill as well. Because I could turn into like a giant lizard, and that has a climbing speed of 30 feet.
But does it have spider climb?
It's got climbing of 30 feet. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it has
pay
an innate.
spider climb.
It has an innate climb.
Okay.
'Cause that's all spider climb does.
Actually, no, it is. It's listed as spider climb. This lizard can climb difficult surfaces,
And-
including upside down on ceilings, without the need to make an ability check.
Okay.
So it sounds like Zerdig is going to ride on Ore's lizard back, and I'll carry Elandiel. And
Well, it's
Sadzi will walk.
large. I could double up. It'd slow me down a little bit, but I could double up on passengers.
That sounds even better.
Okay, I'll lash myself to the lizard.
I turn
All
into
right.
a giant mechanical lizard.
So we're putting
Do
the
you remember
two
the
elves on
last
the
time
list.
you had to do that, Alandiel?
Yeah, it's because I
Yeah,
tried.
look,
I didn't start off lashed. I fell halfway down a mountain, almost to my death. I've learned my lesson. I'm tying in right from the start.
Pre-time. The last time we lashed to a lizard, the dwarves were killing each other.
Yeah. And then Alandiel nearly died.
I will carry Z2. Just for fun.
Okay.
I think that Zerdig would just take.
Carry him.
You're not going to ride on the lizard?
Well, he can do spider climb. He can cast spider climb on himself.
he can just do it
Oh.
himself too.
Yeah.
Zerdig can do spider climb and take Z2, and then that frees up spots on the lizard for everybody else who can't.
You know, it might be best for you to cast spider climb on Mizeki, have him carry Z2, and then you ride on the lizard.
That was what I was proposing.
Because Mizeki is going to be the hard one to be able to ride on anybody else. Given
I
his
could
yeah,
shape.
we can do that.
I could turn Mizeki into a giant lizard as well with polymorph, and then use my wild shape on me being.
You're
a
not
lizard.
allowed to polymorph me.
I mean, he can try.
No. It's considered I do not consent to being polymorphed.
You just have to save then.
I would obey his wishes if he doesn't want to be polymorphed. I was just throwing it out there as an option.
Stop trying to turn me into other animals. I'm already the best.
You're missing out. Other animals sometimes are quite enjoyable to be.
All right, so we have
All
a
right,
plan.
let's go.
Up the mountain.
Up the mountain, yay! Okay. So the Aarakocra take off, flying up as you all start walking up the mountain, which I think is a bit weird and bizarre, but okay. So, like I said, there are several kind of plateaus as you're going up it. The lowest one at 500 feet. Which height do you want to go to?
Where does it look like most of the Aarakocra are going?
They are going up. You estimate they're at about 2,000 feet.
I mean, we've got an hour. Might as well. I'm gonna complain about it most of the way, but might as well go up there.
Yeah, well, you're so good at it.
We're just gonna Terminator walk up the side of these guys' mountain. Here in their village.
I mean, it'll take us about 30 minutes or so to get up there. But yeah, I would say let's go until we find like some sort of settlement or something.
So
But
like there is a settlement at the 500 level. It's just one of
Yeah,
the
the
smaller
major one
ones.
appears to be the 2000 though. Let's go to the 2000.
Okay. All right. You continue up as you begin passing these uh, kind of plateaus of the mountain. You see that there are some nests and buildings that have been scrapped together out of various woods and stone. And you just see a few small Aarakocra kind of poke their heads out and just stare as you're walking up that, and you see a few of them begin to try the same thing and then fall and then catch themselves as they're falling and just fly and land back down. One of them shouts out, "How do you do that?"
Superior all-terrain horse hooves.
I want horse hoofs.
magic.
And you continue on making your way through. As you reach the 1,000 foot, you see that there's another slightly larger settlement that spreads out. And you continue on making your way. As you reach 2,000 feet, this is the largest of the settlements that you've seen, and it only gets narrower as you go up if you wanted to continue up beyond this.
I mean, if this looks like it's the biggest grouping, this is probably where we should start talking to people about the mountain and all those good things.
All right. So as you make it up here, the Aarakocra who flew up just go, "Impressive. We will note, walking up the mountain is possible. We did not know this before."
Isn't spider climb first or second level too? Like,
Yeah, but as established by the warriors that you fought, they don't get a lot of adventurers out this way.
that's right. Also, if the enemy was riding giant lizards, that would be more of a problem.
They ride giant scorpions.
Thankfully, which don't have climb speeds, I assume, I guess.
They do not.
Convenient.
So, okay. Yeah. So, what are you asking to the peoples here?
I mean, we mainly want to describe like what our goal is. Like, what are we looking for? And if they've seen any large groups of bandits recently.
Um, anything like landmarks that might be areas good to gather in, and if they know anything about how the mountain moves, or if there's any specific divines that are worshipped in their community.
Okay. So they tell you if you're looking to replenish and get supplies to head north to the Thousand Lakes and find the settlements there among the lakes, and that is the best place to uh, get resources here in the desert. As far as how the mountain moves, no one knows. They just know that it does. No one ever controls it. It just goes where it wants, and they go along for the ride.
Cool. Um, divines? Anyone that they particularly revere or anything?
So there are several here that worship Unira, who's the goddess of peace. She's a halfling. and she is worshipped quite a bit here.
I would like to ritual cast detect magic and walk around the place if they're cool with that.
Yeah, that's fine. So they will let you do so. Um, your detect magic, you cast it, and
Blocked by a foot of stone, but maybe the stone itself is magical.
um, you make a con save for me.
Blinded by the light.
Oh no.
13.
Alondiel begins casting detect magic. As soon as he finishes his ritual, he goes unconscious. You are just overwhelmed by everything that is happening to you, and the amount that you just take in an instant, that you just instantly go unconscious. So you're watching just as Alondiel does this and then collapses.
The ritual finishes, my eyes glow, and then they dim, and I fall over.
Mecha Lizard looks around at the rest of the party,
Can
seeing if
I?
anybody does anything.
Is this considered blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned?
No, it is considered unconscious.
I would like to flash of genius his save. So that gives him a +7, I think, or at least a +5.
Is it a roll or is it just a flat?
It's a reaction. Yeah, it's based on my mod. I think it's +5.
So that would take you to an 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So instead of going unconscious, you take in all of this light, right? And you feel like you're about to lose everything, and Zerdig just reaches out, and you feel a bit of magic come from him, and it kind of stabilizes you. And as everything was going dark, it all brights up, and this entire thing is magical. Magic emanating from everywhere.
Right.
Magic?
What school?
So this is enchantment.
Okay. You guys just see me throw my hands up in front of my eyes. I'm like, ah! And look, and I immediately turn away from looking at the mountain.
So you look up into the sky, basically. You're just like, nope.
Yeah. Ah.
Okay.
And then I turn away because that's super bright, and I'm just sitting there with my eyes closed.
And then end
And
the
I and I
spell.
and I drop concentration.
Yeah.
What did you see?
Everything
So-
here is enchanted. The mountain itself is the brilliance of it was like staring it into the sun directly, but worse. It was awe-inspiring and fear-inducing at the same time.
What if Zerdig like begins a thought and then like starts chipping away like a small bit of rock to see if the properties transfer if he hews some rock off? Because he did ask multiple times about sacred areas and rituals, and people just seem to think this is just a mountain that moves. So he doesn't think it's rude to try and take some of it and see if it'll float by itself.
I feel like if you could take it, this people would have already done this, and we'd have flying cars.
Maybe, but it's not very traffic out here either, and it's like very sparse. So he tries it.
Okay. So you chip out a bit of rock, and what are you doing with it?
He's just chipping out a bit of rock and then just seeing if it'll float by itself and like for how long. But he'll have it in some sort of probably like put his hand on top of it so that if it starts floating up, like it won't just fly into the sky.
Okay. Um. So I should clarify because like it's called the floating belt, but like they don't float. They move. They're firmly attached to the ground. They move through the sand. So like it's not something that floats up into the air.
It's like those
Got it.
rocks that move across the desert.
Yeah.
Well, that makes this experiment a little harder because he needs to get back to ground level with some rocks.
Does the
Yeah,
rock
but
that you chip off, does it still maintain the aura?
He
I
turned it
dropped.
off
You
because
turn
it's
it off,
blinding.
I
yeah.
couldn't
Oh, I see what you're
see.
Yeah.
It was
so
everything.
is there a way we could, like, I guess, focus in on just this one little chip of rock?
Maybe hold it up to the sky.
I mean, does anybody
Technically,
have
I sense a presence of
identify? Like, that
magic
would
with
be how
it.
you would
Yeah.
focus on just the one little piece of rock.
No, I don't.
Let me check.
But if we
Yes.
don't, we can take some chunks of rock down and start messing with them at ground level.
Zerdig can have identify next time we rest, but he doesn't have it prepared right now.
Put that in your pocket.
It
Did
is
we
a ritual
see
spell as well, but the artificers don't ritual cast.
when we were walking across the desert? Did we see any like small rocks in the sands floating across the sands? Not mountain size, but just little ones.
Nope.
Okay. And does the mountain leave a wake in
It
like
does.
the? It does. How deep is the wake?
Well, as the sand falls back in on itself as it moves through, it only lowers from the sides that are left by about 6 or 7 inches. So like,
Oh, so it's not like a substantial depth
yeah,
under the sand.
because the sand just fills in as it moves past. So
So we're dealing with basically like a flat bottom mountain, not like a mountain berg thing.
yeah, as far as you can
Where
tell.
it doesn't seem to displace a lot of sand below it. It's just
Yeah, on
whatever
the
is.
leading edge, is it plowing a ton out of the way?
Yeah, and that's essentially what's creating the difference
Hmm.
in the height. So
So the path behind the mountain is just flat sand.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's got essentially tiny little dunes on either side of it because the mountain pushes the sand to the sides as it goes through. But like if
So
you were
these are all.
standing directly behind it in its area,
So it's like
um,
an iron. It's just it
yeah,
presses the sand flat underneath it. There's not a lot of variation in like trails or anything like that. It doesn't show like there's a low spot or like a keel or anything like that. It's just a flat right over the top of the sand.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, which makes these things very easy to follow. So,
Okay. Zerda, can you chip off a couple chunks of rock, maybe further inside as well, and like different sizes?
Yeah. I'm putting them in my backpack.
We're doing a rock inspection.
Well,
rock
I'm thinking
inspection.
maybe it's like the more mass there is, the more magic there is, and you have to reach like a certain critical amount to make to have a mountain move. But maybe if you have like say a fist size rock, that might move over like a little chip.
Yes. So unless there's any issues mechanically, he'll do that. I just put them in my backpack for future reference.
Okay. All right. Any conversations or people you want to talk to while you're up here, or just chip some rock? You've asked your questions and didn't get really any useful answers.
Uh, if it doesn't look like we're really moving on from this settlement, Ore is gonna deconstruct from Mecha Lizard back into Ore. And is there a chieftain or like a head representative that's been with us this whole time?
No one like that has come out.
Is there someone like that? I mean, we could ask whoever's around.
Do you
Who
ask?
makes who
I
makes
ask
decisions
Sure.
people if
for
it's
your
okay to
community?
capture their likenesses in their community.
Yeah, no
I
one
want to know
seems to
how they get
object to
food.
that, Alondiel.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know how they get food.
Uh, we fly down and catch various creatures through the night as our mountain moves.
Oh, what's good eats?
Well, you'll catch a few small creatures and tiny cats, and as they say that, they kind of look at you and go, mammals that live in dens and things that come out at night. Uh, there's plenty of insects and things that are abound. Occasionally, we'll get close enough or send people out to head up to Thousand Lakes and barter with the townspeople there.
Hmm. As far as the insects go, are the really big scorpions, are they good to eat? Or are they not worth the effort?
Like the ones large enough to ride,
Yeah,
not worth the effort. They
okay.
pack
Good to know.
quite a sting.
Do you, as a community, feel like you could share this mountain?
There's not a lot of room, but if you wish to stay, we can find a place for you.
No, not for us. The community on the mountain that has stopped moving. If a worst case scenario is we're not able to get it to move again, they may have to find another settlement.
Our mountain is not great for Thrycreen inhabitation. I'm sure you've seen theirs. They dig tunnels through ours. Ours is solid all the way through. Not a lot of space inside like theirs has.
It does seem to have a lot of verticality. They may be able to make arrangements. However, I understand if you wish that your mountain is kept separate from them. I'm just pondering alternatives to their situation.
Plus, adding them, they'd have to have exits at the bottom, which makes the whole place just more vulnerable.
You mentioned that you guys had sent people off on expeditions uh, that never came back. What was the targets of your attempts?
So when Ist Mountain first went down, we were approached by one of them. I believe his name was Aegon, something like that.
Aegon.
Aegon.
Aegon,
Yes, yes. He asked us for assistance when we passed by. Given our ability to fly and that we were headed towards the coast, we agreed, and we sent some people who went into the mountains, the dragging teeth, and never came out.
Did they go to the northern end or southern end?
I believe they went to the northern end.
And what do you call your mountain? If that's not if that's not a too big of an ask.
Oh, we call ours Nest Mountain.
Okay, well,
So,
we're making our way that way, and if we come across any news of whatever happened to your people, I will be sure to uh, send information back about anything that we might find about them.
are there any rumors or anything you know about the mountains off to the coast, the dragging teeth? Like, are there any particular dangers that you know of?
I mean, not that I know of. I know that we were once a part of those mountain range, but long before my time, that was the case. There are always dangerous things in the mountains, though.
With your flight capabilities, do you maintain communication and trade with any of the other floating mountains?
As we pass by, we will send emissaries over and discuss and have conversations, make deals and trades when necessary.
Have
But
you come
we
across any
don't typically send people out until we're close enough.
Have you discovered any other mountains that were also stopped, or any of the mountains that are uninhabited?
None that we have come across have been stopped or uninhabited, with the exception of Ist Mountain being stopped for the past several months.
I see. Do you know if there are any other communities that would be that are also Thrycreen on any of the other mobile mountains?
There was another Thrycreen community.
Do you remember the name of their mountain?
We were not so welcomed by them, and were ushered away quite quickly.
I see. Do you by chance have a count of how many mobile mountains there are currently active from your interactions?
By my count, there are 30, including ours. Well, 29 because Ist is no longer moving.
Understood. Do we have any other questions for these guys? I can't think of anything else that I might need to know that they're answering.
Oh,
No.
did
Yeah,
we
go ahead.
meet whoever's the leader? Did we say hi?
They don't have one. They, that's not how they work. They don't have,
Okay,
a
they're more
mayor or a
collectivist.
leader. Yeah.
Got it.
I tried to get to that, but then Ori started asking more questions instead. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. We'll just move on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
In the
Alright.
amount of time, how far have we moved? Just another 5 miles?
Oh, so you haven't even been here for an hour yet.
Gotcha.
So you've gone 3 maybe. So the
Well, if
question
there's
is, how are you getting down?
I mean, this is an established thing. We're gonna
Same
jump.
way? I mean, yes, I can cast Featherfall on you.
Historically, we jump off the mountain. That's how we do it.
How does Elandiel feel about that plan?
I guess I'm living on a mountain now.
if there's any additional information you can add for our quest, I appreciate your warning for us to abandon it, but we cannot.
And why
And
not? You have
we
free
gave
will.
our word.
We are contractually obligated to complete our quest as we have accepted payment for it.
And we stand by our word. We do have the integrity to follow through.
Well, I hope that we will see you again one day, but I know that we shall not.
I wish you safe travels as well. Thank you for
Eh,
your hospitality.
Before we leave, what's your name? I'm Alandil.
Nice to meet you, Elandiel. I am Cog.
Cool. Now I can send him. I got your phone number.
Yes. All right. So, you jump off the mountain and cast Featherfall.
Can I be tied to a lizard?
Oh, I dropped the lizard form a while ago.
Oh, I was just gonna walk down and then cast Featherfall on whoever needs it.
Uh, I could pick up a Londiel, right? In just Ore form.
Probably.
Yep. I pull you close, I pick you up, scoop you up into my arms, and I just start walking down the mountain.
Do you have spider climb?
I have the spider climb shoes.
Oh, right. Nice.
I hold on as tight as I possibly can with the 7 strength. So with that, the strength of a little child.
I just gently pat your back, saying, "There, there,
Terrified.
there."
All right. So, you'll make it down to the bottom of the mountain and begin heading westward, and that is where we will pick up next time. Thanks everybody for coming, for
Awesome.
hanging out, and for spending your time with us. And we'll see you in our next session. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.